Hey guys, I'm back with a new video. In this video, we'll implement our own ASYNC-AWAIT using generators and a third-party library named as Pify. So let us navigate to google.com and search for Pify. So let us go to the GitHub repository for this project, which is this one. So right here, you can see that Pify is used to promisify a callback style function. In the given example that is shown in the repository, you can see that they are promisifying the readFile function that is available on the fs core module of Node.js. So let us go back to our Visual Studio Code and start to code ASYNC-AWAIT using generators and this package. So I have already created a text file in which I have added some lorem ipsum text, and now in our main JavaScript file, for this we need a third-party package. So I will have to set up a package.json file to manage the third-party library Pify. So let us create our package.json file. So write in our terminal npm init, and for running this command you need to have Node.js installed onto your system. So navigate to nodejs.org and install Node.js onto your system and you are good to go. So right here press enter, and then it will ask for some defaults which you can change. So package name, let us say ASYNC-AWAIT, version 1, description, making your own ASYNC-AWAIT using generators and Pify. Entry file will be make your own asaw.js. Just press enter. Node.js ASYNC-AWAIT generators Pify. Author the nerdy dev. And now let us see what we get in our package.json files. So here is our package.json file. It has a name, a version, description, and all these things that we set up while initializing our package.json file. And now to install the Pify package, I can say npm install Pify and press enter. So now we have successfully installed the Pify package inside our project. Let us start with the implementation. So first let us import the Pify package by saying const Pify require Pify. And next let us promisify the fs core module of Node.js by using Pify. So const fs Pify, and right inside here pass on the require fs like this. And now let us define a function, and I will name it as async underscore, and it will take on a generator function as an argument. So function async underscore, pass on the generator function, and this expects the generator function that we will be passing to this async underscore function in just a minute. So right here, whatever generator function is passed to us, we will invoke that to get a generator object, which was the first step that I had discussed in the video on generators. So const generator object generator function, and this invocation will spit out a generator object which we can store in this constant. Next let us set up the iterator on that, and whenever you will call next on the iterator that we get right here, it will return us the object or shape where we will have a done property and a value property. So the done property, as we know, if it gets evaluated to false, the iterator will move on to the next value, and if the done property gets evaluated to true, the iterator will stop giving us more values and we will end right there. So I can say const iterator generator object and symbol.iterator, and right here invoke this. Next let us say iterate.next, and from this invocation we will get an object which has a done property and a value property, and let us destructure the value property like this. Rename value to promise, and right here let us say return promise.then. We'll take on a callback function. Let us name it as loop, and this will receive some data each time, and then let us pass on the received data to another invocation of the next function on the iterator. So iterator.next, pass on the data, and this will spit out a yielded object. So const yielded object, and then I can say const done yielded object.done, and then grabbing the done property from the yielded object that we got from the iterator.next invocation right here. Now if the done property comes out to be true, we can simply return right here like this. and then the generator will stop executing right at this point, and the entire code right below will not get executed at all. Now if we make to this point, that is on line 15, which means that done property was not evaluated to true, so done property is now false. Then we can move on to the next value because our iterable is still not consumed completely, and we do have values inside it to iterate over. So I can say const next promise yielded object dot value, and then I can again say return next promise dot then, and then pass this callback function like this. So now to see our async-await function in action, right here I will invoke the async underscore function. So async underscore, and we'll pass on a generator function. Let us define the generator function. So function asterisk, and let us start the time by saying console dot time. Let us now define a wait function that will simulate a delay of specified duration and will give us a value. So I can say const value, and here I will use the yield keyword to basically define a checkpoint to maintain a pause. So here we are waiting for the value from the wait function, and here we are passing on a delay of 5000 milliseconds. So right here at the yield keyword there will be a pause until the value is returned. Once the value is there with us, we can resume. So right here let us define the wait function, and this will receive a timeout delay, and from right inside here let us return a promise and resolve some random value after timeout number of milliseconds like this. So return new promise resolve, and right inside here I can say return set timeout, and after the timeout number of milliseconds I will resolve with some random value, so math.random, and now let us log the value to the console that we get right from this wait function. So value is value. So here I'm using backticks for string interpolation. So we are interpolating this value right inside our template strings. Next let us again invoke our wait function to get a value, and I will again decorate the wait function with the yield keyword. So yield wait, and pass on 2000 milliseconds, and this will again return us some value. So value 2. Again there will be some pause, and once we get the value we will resume further. So now right here let us end the time by saying console dot time end, and this will spit out the time that the above two asynchronous operations took, though it is not an exact measure but a rough estimate of the time that it took. So let us log both the values that we get to the console right here. So console.log value and value 2, and now let us run the file to see what we get. So here I will say node make your own asaw.js. So you can see we are getting the value. So the first value from the wait function we are getting is this, and the second value is this, and it took 7222.9 milliseconds. So next right here let us read our file asynchronously using the fs.readFile function, and this is now a promisified Pify version of our readFile function which we did import at the top of the file. So const file content, and I will again decorate the read file function call with the yield keyword, and I want to read the file random.txt, and the character encoding is UTF-8. And now let us log the file content to the console and again run the file to see what we get, and you can see we are getting the entire text that was present inside the random.txt logged to our terminal. Now what if I want to perform an async call to some remote server? For that I can make use of the fetch API to make a call to some remote server. But take a note here, the native fetch API that we were using till now is available only for JavaScript browser environment. That won't work here. So if you want to make an async HTTP request right inside from this Node.js file in the Node environment, we can install another package to our exercise folder, and that is the node fetch package. So let us install it first. So I can say right inside the terminal npm install node-fetch, and right here to make the fetch call, which is using the node-fetch third-party module to reach out to the fake JSON placeholder API, I will first have to import the package right here. So const fetch require node-fetch, and let us go down to use it. So right here I can say const response, and right here I will define a checkpoint using the yield keyword, so we are maintaining a pause, and yield fetch. Once we have the data, we can then resume https://json placeholder.typicode.com/todos. And then right here I can extract the data, or I can pass the data by saying const data. Again I will use the yield keyword response.json like this. And now let us log the data that we get to the console. So console.log data. And once this entire async_ function is done, this will return us a promise, as you can see right here. So we can tag on .10, and I will pass on a callback function. Now once everything is done, I can say console.log ASYNC-AWAIT is now done. And to handle any error, I can tag on a .catch. So .catch, and just pass on a console.error like this. So now if we finally run the file again by saying node make your own ASYNC-AWAIT.js, press enter. So you can see all our async operations got performed sequentially, just like in async-await, with the pause and resume effect that I had discussed in the video on generators. So I really hope you enjoyed the video, and if you do, please don't forget to share, like and subscribe the channel. Hit that bell icon that you see right below the video to get the notification for all my upcoming uploads, and let's catch up in the next one.